Only a few short weeks ago, MVP released the stock run of the Neutron Balance, a disc with the numbers 5502, and I was shocked when already, just a few weeks later, we've received the second plastic run for the Balance, and that is in the Fission. This is the Preserve Simon line partnership. I love the Fission feel as well as the fact that they come in lower weights. This one is 168 grams, so we're going to be comparing this run with the Neutron stock Balance as well as the Proton Matrix, which has the numbers 54, -1 turn, 2 fade. This is kind of like the step down in stability in MVP's mid-range lineup when compared to the Balance. So let's get to throwing. We're going to start off in a 320-foot par 3, bends off to the left. Great for an overstable disc flat to a little bit of hyzer. You want something that's going to push, skip at the end, get all the way left. It's 96 degrees out today. It's freaking hot, but we got a lot of wind, about 18-mile-an-hour wind. On this hole, it's a headwind to slight like left to right cross. And start with Fission. A little bit of hyzer on that, holds the hyzer really well. That's gonna be a great shot. If that skipped left, it's gonna be awesome. Great shot, didn't really get any skip though. I think we went driver, would've gotten some nice skip, but kind of grippy grass out here, a little bit outside circle. Yeah. There we go. 293-foot par 3, uphill, straight up the gut. We're gonna start with Fission again, and then we're gonna bust out the Neutron Balance and the Proton Matrix. Part of the reason why I said I like that Fission hand feel is because it almost feels like it's in between electron plastic and neutron plastic, where neutron proton are kind of more slick, you know, it's your typical premium plastic blend. But Fission has a bit more of that tacky feel that almost has that kind of baseline vibe to it, which I've always just preferred that grip, especially if it's wet out, which say it's 96 degrees out, so my hands are pretty wet. Sweaty day out here. Yeah, a little bit of a flex line there. Held that for a while, comes back. It's gonna set us up well. Long putt, but that's pretty good. Let's try to do something similar with Neutron Balance. Very, very similar. Came out at like almost the same time. We don't get the same amount of distance. I feel like that Fission is gonna be pushing forward more than the Neutron. Let's go Proton Matrix. That's just gonna hold. We hit the tree, it held so far. Yeah, that would have gotten up farther if we didn't clip that tree, but I can already tell the Proton Matrix definitely less overstable than either of the Fission Balance and the Neutron Balance. We had Matrix, Neutron Balance land right next to each other, and Fission pushed up here really nicely, had a good line on this, but we got a weird putt on our hands. Almost. I am already swimming out here. I am a very sweaty boy. If you're a sweaty boy, smash that like button and subscribe. 237-foot par 3, bends off to the right. We are going forehand, folks, with both balances and the Matrix. Need to get it on the right angle quick to get all the way to the right, starting with Fission Balance. Started that on, hyzer, kind of flipped up there. Did you guys see that? I thought that was just gonna keep holding that hyzer angle the whole time, but flipped up just a tiny bit, so we hit that tree. That is like the one tree to beat. You gotta get overstable enough where you get on the inside of it. Let's go Neutron Balance. Put that one out high. That's good. That's gonna be great. Higher than I meant to put it out, but kind of the pro play on this hole. Just kidding. Proton Matrix. Yeah, that one flipped up all the way, and because it flipped up more, we got on the outside of that tree. That's gonna be way deep in the basket. See, I didn't come anywhere close with the Fission Balance, but our Neutron Balance got up here, kind of got caught up in this brush here to the right of the basket. Oh! Now, one thing to note of hand feel is that the Fission Balance has noticeably more dome than the Neutron Balance. And really that dome is all in the space between the edge of the wing and the top of the flight plate. Like you can see there's this angle right here. And the Neutron Balance is extremely flat. That's one of the things I love about these stock balances is that there's very little of that angle between the edge of the wing and the top of the flight plate. Like it hits that top of the flight plate very quickly and then flattens out entirely. So while the Fission Balance is definitely domier, there's not like dome in the middle of like the top of the flight plate. It's all just in this like little shoulder area, just a very raised shoulder compared to the Neutron run. It's not really bothering me for my throws so far. It was something that I immediately noticed upon opening the box with my new Balance though, so your mileage may vary. Another hand feel note is that the top of the flight plate on the Fission is definitely a lot softer than that of the Neutron, which is another thing that I've noticed about Fission discs specifically, and even more specifically, probably lightweight Fission discs I've noticed tend to have kind of just that soft top of the flight plate, but still plenty of rigidity in the overmold, so it doesn't feel just like a floppy disc. Like it's sturdy. It's not really all that flexible. It's just that top of the flight plate, you can really feel that squish with the thumb. 260-foot par 3, bends off to left. We're going to go flat to just a little bit of hyzer and just have it fade in. We'll go Fission balance first. Love it. Might be fading off a little bit early. Let's go neutron balance. Very similar, very, very similar flight. That one hit the early tree, bounced off. I actually think the Matrix is the perfect disc for this hole because it carries straight enough where you're not gonna hit any of these trees on the inside, but still has the fade where it's gonna get left at the end. A little low, but I love it. Don't hit that tree. Nice, that's gonna be perfect. This is a Matrix hole, and that kind of perfectly illustrates the stability of these three discs because we have both the neutron and Fission balances. Because they're a little more overstable, they started to fade out early, and we hit this early wall of trees right before the basket, whereas the Matrix is right here. It broke at just the perfect time, holds a little bit straighter than these other discs. Now, when it comes to fitting into the grand scheme of the MVP lineup, I felt like the neutron balance was closer to the Pyro than it was to the Matrix. So I was hoping that the Fission balance, because it's a little lightweight, I was hoping it'd have almost an identical flight to the Matrix, which I really like this flight. I prefer the hand feel of the balances though, especially because of how similar they are to the Hex. So far, the Fission has a very similar flight to the neutron, just a little bit less overstable, just a tad though, whereas the Matrix is still like another step below in stability. With that said, Fission tends to beat in a lot faster than neutron, so I'd expect this to beat in pretty quick to have that more neutral flight compared to the neutron balance. 237-foot par 3, downhill, bends off to the right, a lot of trees to miss. We're going forehand with Fission balance. Ooh, a little bit of a flip up there. That was a beauty. Woo! I like that a lot. That was great. I think there is zero chance the neutron would have gotten that kind of subtle flip. Granted, it's a little wobbly, which I think accounts for more of the flip than anything else here. A little bit of wind, but we're in the trees, so we're covered pretty well here. Let's go neutron, see how it compares. Yeah, you see that holds a lot more. That was way short because we didn't get kind of that little just baby flip up that the other Fission balance got. Well, let's go Matrix. I love going Matrix on this hole because it kind of flies like that balance just flew. And I mean, that would have been great, but we hit an early tree, which that's kind of the story of this hole. And we had Fission balance go about 25-ish feet long here, which really goes to show that that neutron balance ended like 30 feet short. So quite a bit of a difference there. Oh gosh, I've been like probably a collective maybe 3 inches off of a great putting day. 206-foot par 3, bends to the left. We just got to cut this inside corner really close to get all the way. It's really like a dog leg to the left. Get around, get around. Nice. Got a little skip there. Didn't get the aggressive skip I was hoping for, so we're still left with this circle too. Look here. One thing I will say is that I don't mind that raised shoulder for the backhand. But for the forehand, I can definitely tell that it has that extra just space underneath the disc where my forehand grip goes. And I can't say I love that. I definitely prefer the forehand feel of the neutron balance versus the Fission balance. And guys, that does it for the Fission balance. I really like it. I'm planning on bagging it, especially because I already bagged the neutron balance. Just a smidge less overstable, a smidge more dome. As of the time of recording this, they're still up on MVP Pro Shop for sale, which I wasn't really expecting. Usually the MVP Pro Shop, like the popular stuff, sells out real fast. Like those Silva Preserve Craves, already out of stock, but you can still get your Fission balance at the Pro Shop. I also love the stamp. You got the bear, which is kind of like the symbol of the preserve. You got a little fish up here. What is that? Is that a Chinook salmon? No idea. I took ichthyology in college, but it's been a long time. So if you guys are fans of the balance, let me know down below in the comments, or if you prefer a different overstable mid-range, let me know that. And if you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate if you consider liking and subscribing. That'd be awesome. You can follow me online at UDIS Community at Flying Fajita or Instagram at Flying Fajita Disc Golf. And as always, guys, I love you. Take care, and I'll see you next time.